This is Personal SEO teaches how to embed Google Forms inside of a WordPress website using the Elementor plugin. This is actually fairly simple and easy. There are a couple of tricks that we tend to like to do, so I thought this video would be helpful. One of the things is that you may get this, you need permissions if you're embedding the form incorrectly, or if forms haven't been given you permission, or you're not giving anyone else permissions. So once you get permissions, or once you have created the form, one of the things that you need to do is click on the sprocket and then uncheck this box. That will help with the form being more public. And then you can check the other boxes you want, but just make sure that restricted to users under this is the right way. Obviously, if you want to restrict users, then I would tell you to uncheck this box, embed the form, and then come back in and check the box. What will this will force everyone to have a Google account to see the form. And so this is entirely up to you, but it's something that I just uncheck while we're doing this to make life a little easier. So go ahead and hit save. Okay. In this particular website, which is just a form website, what we're doing is we're going to go to all pages and we're going to add a page. Now, the pages we're adding are not Elementor pages, and the reason being is that it just doesn't need to be. We're just embedding a form and that's it. There's no content or anything else. This is an internal site for a company, so using a full Elementor thing is just something that they're just not into. They just would rather have the functionality more than the actual for it to look good. All right, so in the form, and this form is named database, and I already did the front desk messages form. In this form, what you do is go ahead and click on send. Again, after you do the sprocket and uncheck that box, go ahead and click send, then click on the code here, and then I always click it, even though it highlights it, I always hit Control A and then hit Control C just to copy. Even you can hit copy there. It's just kind of old habits die hard. The next thing is that we're going to name the page the name of the form, which this form is just called database. And then we're going to go over to text. So normally when you create a WordPress page, it's going to default to visual unless you click text a bunch, and then it will default to that view. You'll know the difference because you'll have paragraph, bold, and all of these settings, and when you go to text, all of it's gone and they're replaced with HTML coding. So go ahead and just hit Control V, or right click and hit paste, or depending on however you paste your stuff in, go ahead and do that. And then the rest is up to you. I tend to like to add center, the old HTML center, if I can spell right, center tag, and that just centers the form in the middle of the page. Make sure you close the center tag at the end, so then it doesn't mess up the rest of the website. Again, bracket, center, bracket, and then bracket slash center bracket, and that's the whole entire piece of code. We're going to hit publish, and then right click on the permalink and hit open in a new tab. The reason why I do that is because Google Forms notoriously have a stupid scroll bar, and it just takes a couple of seconds to actually remove the scroll bar. I hate having double scroll bars. It's not user friendly. It just is a thing that irritates me. So we go back to the database page that we were editing. Again, that's why we right clicked and opened in a new tab, so that we could see what's happening in real life versus what's happening in the code. The only thing that we're going to do here is we're going to add 100 pixels. So under height, there's height and width. So if there was a scroll bar at the bottom that went right and left, I would adjust the width. If there's a scroll bar that's vertically like this one, I'm going to adjust the height. So depending on your form, you may have to adjust both. So I have noticed that if you just add, if you replace the 1428 to 1528, the scroll bar will go away. You may have to increase this more depending on how long your form is, but that's a quick, easy thing to do. Just go by hundreds and then eventually it will stop. If you go by thousands, then you're going to have a bunch of white space on the page. Make sure that you do not delete the quotes. So the number that you're editing under height, just make sure there's a quote at the end, a quote at the beginning, a quote at the end, and an equal sign before the first quote, and then you'll be fine. So since we made this from 1428 to 1528, we're going to hit update. Now, when this gets done updating, we're going to go to the page that we've already opened, again, right-clicking and hit opening in a new tab, and then we're just going to hit refresh. If you close the page, then just right click and open a new tab, and then you'll see the page. Okay, so now here's the page, and this is kind of what I like. It's very easy, short, and sweet. There aren't two scroll bars, so that's it. This page is done. Now what we have to do is we have to add this page to the home page. So here are all the forms on the page. Now we have to add the database to the tracking page. We have built this page using Elementor, so I'm going to click on Edit with Elementor, and the rest of this stuff is going to be fairly simple. Since I've already styled the buttons and I don't want to restyle the button, I'm just going to hover on the bottom button and go to where these 6 dots are, right click, which is not intuitive because in websites you never usually right click. I'm going to right click and choose duplicate. Now you're going to see you have 2 front desk messages. I'm going to right click on the button and choose edit button. Elementor is one of the only builders that allows for the right click, so just be aware that you can do that. Next, I'm going to change the text of the button to say database because that's what form this is. And then all I have to do is create the link, get the link for the database. And since I left the original form open, I can just right click on it, open in a new tab, click up here and then hit Control C, go back to the Elementor homepage, and then hit Control A and then hit Control V. You can also, I believe you can just type in database and it will find the page and you can click on it. So kind of either way. And then hit update, and now the home page has been edited, the new page has been created, the Google form has been added, and it's that simple. So this is Personal SEO teaching on how to embed Google Forms inside of a WordPress website using Elementor as a builder. Thank you for watching and have a good day.